Recreating Brute Bomber then, so there are obviously some selections specifically. The actual gear set isn't too difficult to actually put together, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's create a new character and use the appearance data that I've just saved then. It should come as no surprise then for Brute Bomber that they are the tallest and they also have the most muscle, and we have also gone for face number 3. That should be kind of something that everybody kind of gets behind. In terms of skin color, we've got this range here, which is 144, 105, 84. We've got the hairstyle, which is one of the free hairstyles. A little bit down here, just near some of the other hairs. We've got the one with the little quiffs in the front. In terms of the hair color, we don't have access to the neon hair highlights that Brute Bomber has. However, the base color is something around this range, 144, 146, and then the highlights we've gone for the brightest we physically could, which is 140, 48, 51. Jaw type, we've gone for type 2. Eye type, we've gone for type 5. Iris size is large. Eye color, we've actually got odd eyes as well with this character, much like with Honeybee Lovely. So we've actually got over here, which makes me think, by the way, maybe they're related in some way because they're the only characters that have odd eyes. Very strange. Anyway, so the base color on his left eye, or as we're looking at it, the right eye here, the base eye is 165, 68, 51, and then the other eye is 213, 166, 88. So this orangey yellow, which looks pretty good. In terms of eyebrows, I went for type 3. Nose type, it looked about right at type 3 as well. Mouth, we just went for type 4 because it's quite a big wide mouth. And then for lip color, I just kept it static, sort of default. For facial features, we have all of the scars, none of the facial hair. By the way, this is what the Brute Bomber would look like if he had facial hair, which is absolutely hilarious. I think you'll agree. And then we've got no tattoos, but in terms of face paint 0 as well. And that's pretty much the Brute Bomber. Very simple sliders, a lot of default options, and then I've gone for a type 3 voice because it's he sounds quite upset. Let's move on to the Glamour. So for this Glamour, first of all, we have ourselves the White Old Rose. This is something that we've used in a couple of these Glamours so far. And basically it's a regulator, or at least from a distance, hopefully it looks like a regulator. It doesn't kind of work as well as it does on the other characters for this one, in my opinion. But it's the closest thing we have to a regulator in the game until they actually put it in. But it's definitely something optional, and I'd probably hide this quite personally. Then of course we've actually got the actual armor piece. Now none of this is dyed. In fact, none of Brute Bomber's armor is dyed at all. It's all just stock, so it's really easy to set forward, and they're all level 1 and above glamour items. So this is the replica Sky Rat harness of striking. So obviously the replica Sky Rat stuff is equipable by anybody level 1 and above. They are crafted, and yeah, this is a 1-to-1 replica of what he uses. For the gloves then, we actually have the replica Sky Rat fingerless gloves of striking, so more striking with that wonderful orange and brown sort of rag tied to one of the arms there. Then we've got our first sort of premium item. This is the calfskin rider's bottoms. This is a glamour piece. It is a really, really nice set of leather pants. And yeah, you can actually make this as well, although that's slightly more expensive to make in the game. It is still equipable by everybody 1 and above, completely undyed. And then to finish it off, we have ourselves the Sky Rat replica hook boots of fending. So much like we talked about previously with Honeybee Lovely, where obviously some of the pieces that Honeybee Lovely uses is actually cross-class that we can't, and there's no shared models. At least with this, we have the replica set that is, so we can get exactly the same piece of gear regardless of the fact originally it was a piece of fending gear. And honestly, it's a very simple glamour to make. It is not hard in the slightest. And the actual character is 1-to-1, I would say, to the actual character from the storyline, in down to everything. The face type, everything. The only thing that is different with this character from the original is the hair color, because of course we do not have access to those neon hair colors, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, down to the scars as well. I think this is the closest we've ever had. Now, whether or not people would want to actually make Brute Bomber, that's the other question. Probably the least memorable in terms of design, in my opinion, of the characters from the Arcadion. I much prefer the other characters, but I'm biased. Maybe you wanted to create this, and well, there you go. Very, very simple. I think it'd be really cool to look at all of the creations that we've made so far together. So let's use retainers and do that. I have to say, this is probably one of the most surreal experiences I've had in a very long time. So seeing all of the characters next to each other is really strange. And I think this is the first time in the game you actually ever see all four of them together. So let's line this up next to Honeybee Lovely there. But you're allowed up to 3 retainers outside of your property in Final Fantasy XIV. Unfortunately, we can't have a 4th. Hopefully they increase that in the future. So my real question is, will the second tier of the Arcadion live up to the quality of character design that we have seen here? Because these characters, quite honestly, are awesome. I love each one of them. Obviously, Brute Bomber, I'm less of a fan of. I'm a slight bit biased, but I think Honeybee Lovely, Yana, and Eutrope were just amazing characters. And it was fun to create the characters, honestly, recreate them. And I hope you enjoyed watching this little mini-series. Obviously, I'll try and recreate to the best of my ability future raid series if they actually do the same thing as they've done here with the characters, and I'm sure they probably will. And they look absolutely awesome together. I'm quite pleased with this, quite pleased indeed. And you'll see that the white old roses look especially good on these characters, much better than the idea I had before. Yeah, really cool. Quite a challenge. In terms of other NPC recreations, if you have any other requests, feel free to let me know, because I'm sure I can find a time to put them together. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to stare at this for a little bit longer. Come by the way, on Ragnarok Mist Ward 20, and you'll be able to see the 3 female characters at the very least, until Square Enix gives me the ability to put a 4th NPC slot down. And come and say hi. Anyway, have a good one. I'll see you all next time. It just looks surreal, doesn't it? It looks so strange. I love it.